Congratulations on the album. It's an absolutely brilliant album. So I was wondering if you could start off by telling us a little bit about the journey with this album.
Oh, that's a loaded question. um, well, the journey for Custody Signals, I guess, has been, let's say, about just over a 3-year sort of thing. We went through, well, quite a lot of members in the band went through a bit of a rough time in those last 3 years. So I guess the album kind of portrays a lot of melancholia and like a lot of grieving and whatnot. So it was a pretty painful journey for all of us, but in saying that, we actually created some music that had a huge dichotomy between it being kind of hopeless and also really, really hopeful, which I think we're really proud of creating.
Yeah, writing when you're going through a tough time, it can be a bit of a two-edged sword because it's one way of letting things out, but at the same time it can be a bit difficult to put it down on paper. How did you find the writing process when all the members of the band were going through such a rough time?
Well, I think realistically, what's the saying? The saying is there is no greater prerequisite for any kind of artist than a miserable life.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that's always true, but I believe it helps. Absolutely. I think it's like you said, mostly it's a sort of therapy thing, therapeutic. It's catharsis.
Yeah, definitely. So talk us through a little bit about the recording process for the album as well, because it's such an atmospheric album. It's got this really unique feeling to it. So what was the recording process like?
Well, we actually, so for the first 3 EPs we didn't actually do a lot of pre-production. We did our writing, and we would go into the studio with our regular engineer here in Adelaide and lay down some tracks and then kind of, fix them up as we went along. With this album, we actually did do a lot of pre-production. I did a lot of vocal recording at Corey's studio, and we got our things sort of organised or separately, brought them together, had a really awesome mix and concept of the album, a good blueprint, and then we went in to see our regular engineer Andy at Against the Grain Studios here in Adelaide. We recorded all of our stuff and sent it off to Ventura to give it a little bit of a mix. He is absolutely fantastic. I think he, other than the instrumentation and the musicianship, is a huge part as to why the album is so atmospheric and huge in its sound.
Yeah. Was there a reason why you decided to do more pre-production this time? Was there like something that kind of triggered that where you thought, yeah, we should do a little bit more this time around? I
think the 3 EPs that we did weren't necessarily rushed in any way, but we had sort of deadline-y times to get it organised by. So I think just in the means of us not having a huge amount of time to do the pre-production was a big reason as to why we didn't. But this time, I think, in just doing it, we found that we went into recording the songs much more comfortably. We felt really, really happy with like our lines and our sort of musicianship and how it intertwines with each other. So it was, I think it's just a little bit more time to like flesh out all of the issues realistically.
Yeah. You guys have also got such a unique sound as well. Tell us a little bit about that evolution of the band's sound, and is it difficult to find a producer out there that captures the best of your sound?
Well, I mean, like, it definitely is. I think it's hard out there for anybody that's in a niche of music to capture particular aspects of the sound. But our engineer's really fun. We go in there and, we have a joke and we enjoy the time together. And I think just being comfortable in a studio, full stop, is something that really, really helps the production of great quality music.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was actually going to ask that as a next question. There's so many young bands I talk to these days that seem to have this attitude of, we don't need a producer, we can do everything ourselves. What advice would you give to bands out there about the advantages of working with a good producer?
Well, I think the biggest advice would be that a third-person perspective is always a good thing, regardless of whether or not that third-person perspective is positive or negative.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, I kind of touched on it before, but the evolution of your band's sound, it's been really interesting to sit down and listen to the EPs and then listen to the album and watch that evolution. For you guys, though, has that evolution kind of happened without you really noticing, or have you deliberately, like, made some changes in there over the years?
Oh, well, we've definitely made changes. I think just in the scope of, like, our musical direction, we've kind of gotten slightly heavier, I think, and that's a little bit of a weird thing, I think. As bands usually get older, they become slightly less heavy.
Yeah.
But I think, going through a rough time in the last few years, kind of gave us a little bit more pretense to act out. Look, we've also been listening, we all, as band members, have really different tastes in music. So I think just like the collision of all of those different tastes and attitudes towards music makes our music grow all the time. We've already started writing for, the next, adventure that we've got coming up. So, and even that is quite different to what we've already created with this album. So yeah, I just think it's both a conscious and unconscious thing, changing styles.
Yeah. Now, you guys have been getting rave reviews for the album, but how do you feel now that it's about to come out to your fans and the public?
Well, see, the album was actually finished fully late through last year. So we've been sitting on it for quite a long time. We've shown, a few people here and there, but not too many. So we've done all the hard yards and the hard work, but we haven't, gotten to kind of go out there and enjoy and have a few drinks with friends interstate, on tour and whatnot, and kind of celebrate what we've created. But now with the reviews coming out, I think we're feeling a little bit more excited.
Yep, definitely. Now, the album's coming out at this really weird time where bands can't go out and do shows because of what's going on in the world at the moment. How does that make you feel that you guys can't get out there and start to play these tracks live? Like, is that a little bit frustrating?
Oh man, totally. Like I said, we've been waiting for the opportunity to go and experience this music around the country with other people, and now we don't get to do that. So we're all a little bummed, but I guess at this point in time, people are staying at home and they're just getting the opportunity to listen to music. And hopefully, I think this new DYSSIDIA release is, it can at times be really hard to follow. So it's not a sort of listen through the album once and never again sort of thing. I think it's like a listen and hear new things every time sort of record.
Yeah, definitely. And I was talking to a label manager the other day, and he said that he reckons that with all these great musicians being pinned up at home at the moment, not being able to go out, he reckons that in a year's time, we're going to have some of the best albums of all time come out, because all that creative juices got to come out somewhere, and it's going to come out through writing. Is that something that you guys are planning on doing during this period where you can't get out and do shows?
Oh, dude, I agree. I think that the music industry, well, hopefully, has a huge boom just in its output in creativity and music and all sorts. I think that once again we wrote a lot of these songs with a lot of sort of mourning, I guess, in mind, and I just hope that it translates well to people in isolation at the moment, so that they can listen and enjoy and hopefully kind of get what we were going for as we were doing it. But we're going to be writing. We're not stopping. We're going to keep going, and hopefully sooner than 3 years from now, we'll have another release for everybody to listen to.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely hope it's less than 3 years, because I'm in love with this album. So the other question I was going to ask is, you guys have shared the stage with some of the biggest bands in the world now. What have you learnt from that experience, being able to be on stage with bands like Opeth and Between the Buried and Me? What does that mean to you guys, and what have you learnt from those experiences?
Well, I think it's really important to put yourself out there as a band and do the hard yards first, and not worry about playing to 15 people, because at one point or another you're going to be playing to 400 people or 800 people before Opeth comes on stage. So I guess, you got to do your hard yards in order to get to that point, and the amount of exposure that you get for being an opening band for an international act is huge. We've had such a great response just being a band playing for a bigger band. In means that, you know, people will go and buy our merchandise and our music after that, and we attain new fans all the time. So I think it's really important for young bands to make sure that they do the hard yards, to ensure that they can play with international bands, to ensure that hopefully that they go on to be international bands themselves.
Definitely. Well, mate, I know we are running out of time, so I'll quickly ask before I go, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there and the people out there that are thinking about going out and grabbing your album on Friday?
Well, let's not go out and grab our album on
yes.
Friday. Let's stay in and order it and listen, enjoy, and try and ease your minds at such a rough sort of point in everybody's lives.
Definitely. Well, mate, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we wish you all the best of luck with the release on Friday.
Thanks so much, man.
Not a problem, mate. You have a great day, and hopefully we get to talk again in the future.
Beautiful. Cheers,
right.
man. You too.
Thanks, mate. Bye.